guys, I'm Maeya, your host. Today I am with Justina Biosah, who is an actress and also a artist. So we're going to talk a little bit about the projects she's been working on, sort of her career, and I'm really excited. So let's start off by asking, how are you?
I'm good. I'm so excited to be here. How are you?
I'm really, really well. So I'm really excited to talk to you because I know you've done some really cool projects of late, but I do want to start by asking you how you got your start in acting.
Oh, wow. That's a good question. I think growing up in the UK, you had like a choice to go and do sixth form, or you could go and go to college. And college is not the same thing as it is in the US. College is between the ages of 16 and 18. And I decided to study musical theatre because I was like, I love singing, dancing, acting. So I was like, I want to do musical theatre. And I kind of started there. And I had a teacher who was, she was actually the lead in Guys and Dolls at the West End.
Oh, okay.
And she just like gave me a connection. So I started off in like theatre, doing plays in London.
That's awesome. So did your heart tell you to like do film then, or because I know the West End's that's like our Broadway, right?
Yeah.
So what made you want to start doing film?
So it's so funny because when I grew up, I saw myself as like a movie actor. Not even like TV, just straight up movies. But then when I studied musical theatre, I loved being live on stage. So when I started doing plays, I absolutely loved it. But there was like a switch in me when I think it was like the last play I was on. And I was just like, I kind of want to work on camera.
Yeah.
I want to like film something. I enjoyed the live space and it connects with the music as well. But I was like, I want to see what it's like to film on camera and work, without knowing your lines, like, taking your script home and having some time with it. So yeah, I just had a yearning, but it's because I feel like I wanted to do that first before I did theatre. So when I was doing the theatre, it didn't really, let's say, like, quench that first. I was like, I want something else, and it was definitely working in like movies, and then TV developed after that.
So when you first started, was there film projects up over in the UK, or did you start working over here?
Oh my goodness. So the UK is it's so difficult because it's like if you don't go to one of their prestigious like theatre schools,
like RADA and like
yes, it's very hard to get in. They only find talent from those schools. That's why it's like difficult. That's why like I had to like do my research, and that's when I found actors like Idris Elba and Thandie Newton were like, it's really hard for me to get work, but I have talent. So they all just went to the States. So then I was like, wait, if I can't get work on film and TV because I didn't go to any of those schools, how would I get in there? The only things I was getting auditions for were plays and musicals. So that's when I was like, oh, maybe America might be a place for me to like go if I really want to get into that TV and movie space.
So how was it for you when you first came over? Was it difficult? Like those first projects can be like, what turns people off? Or you're like, I'm in it.
Yeah, so definitely LA. I feel like I fell in love with LA, which is really good because I feel like if I didn't and I was just going to auditions, oh my God, I would have probably like left a long time ago. A lot of people don't know, like when you transition from plays and theatre to TV and film, your auditions are not good. Like I had one agent say to me, which was so funny. I like came in and like did a scene and he was like, you did theatre, didn't you? And I was like, yeah, because I thought that was a good thing.
Yeah,
I thought theatre actors are the best actors because we perform live. And he was like, yeah, for film and TV, you need to tone it way down. You are too loud. There is no audience here. It's just me. And it was like, oh my God, I didn't know how to perform subtly. And TV and film is all about subtle reactions, subtle glances, subtle looks. Like theatre's big because you're performing to an audience. They need to see. You can't make a small little look and the person in the back is going to notice. So everything is like big and over exaggerated. So I had to then be like, oh my God, I'm not good for TV and film. I'm too extra, I'm too loud, I'm too. So that's when I was like, okay, I need to find some acting classes in the States to help me, because I didn't even know like my good angles like for camera, because I'd never done it. So it was like I was almost starting again from having the theatre background, and it was like, no, in LA, you're brand new. But because I loved LA, I stuck with it, because I was just like, it was a lot of no's. So it's like, just, you know, when you're like chasing this, definitely get comfortable with no, because you're going to hear it a lot.
Yeah. I know you did go back home for a little bit and came back. Did you learn anything from that time during the pandemic and sort of reassess things?
Oh, I definitely learned that LA is where I want to be. I was home for 4 years, and I was kind of just like, yeah, no. Like, it's nice because it's like family and your comfort zone. But I've noticed, especially with me, when I'm comfortable, nothing really like takes off. I need to be in uncomfortable situations, because that's when like really major things can happen, and I'm really like pushed to my limits. And LA does that, but I like that, because it's like I don't want to be too comfortable that I don't do anything like, you know, extreme. Or,
you're always pushing yourself. That's
Yeah.
cool. What are some of the projects that you're really proud of that you've worked of late?
Definitely my last major project, it was a TV show called Slave Market. I was in it for 2 seasons. Well, the show was actually only 2 seasons because it was like a limited series. But that was, so my first project was like a movie. It was a rom-com, pretty easy. I loved my character, but nothing that really pushed me. It was kind of like, oh, I'm just kind of like me in this other character. This one was really a big challenge. Had to play a slave in Africa that was taken from her village and sold into slavery. So that was like, oof, that's a lot. And I remember like when we would have meetings with the director and like the table read and stuff, and he was like, you have to like dig deep. And obviously like I wasn't alive during the slave days, or I've never been a slave, but it was the history that I had seen and witnessed in films and documentaries, and now I had to portray this character. So I had to really like dig deep, like find such deep pain, because it was like this person was going through something that I can't even imagine, but it's there in the history books. So, and I was playing a young mum as well, so I had like these 2 gorgeous like cute little kids from South Africa that I played their mum by. And just getting into that character, I had to watch, I think I watched 12 Years of Slave, like the day before I flew to Egypt, because we filmed in Egypt, and we got to live there from August to January. So it was like, we were there for a while. But I remember I watched 12 Years of Slave, and I had to just, I took that pain, like watching that movie. I don't know if you've seen it, but I took the pain that was going on in that movie, and I just took that into my character, because I was like, this is a way that I would be able to bring this character to life, like watching what this person went through, because 12 Years of Slave is a real story, and it really happened to that man. And yeah, it was research. Like I watched Harriet Tubman as well, because I wanted to really get into that character, and it was a challenge. There was a lot that went on in that show, like you know, characters that died and things that I had to push through, and I had to really get into that space, and it was deep, definitely.
And very different from your first project too, right?
Yeah, from a rom-com to, well,
yeah. I know besides all the emotional and the heaviness of the show, you also had to change your accent because you know, you're a Brit. So how has that been in Hollywood?
Oh my goodness. So luckily my first movie, I got to keep my accent, which was really nice. And then this one, oh my God, it was such a challenge, because it wasn't only like, oh, you have to have an African accent. It was like, you have to do a South African accent. And this is really hard to do a South African accent. And they roll their R's a lot, which is like quite tough. But we had one of the actors who was South African, was a trained vocal like accent coach, I guess. And we would work with him, and it's really funny. Like, have you watched the first episode? Because we shot it kind of in order, and the first episode, like, everyone's accent was kind of there, and then once you get like in it, you're like, oh
Yeah.
like I think there was like a episode 4 or something, and I'm the opening. I'm like we filmed in ships, like they built ships. It was like an incredible set, and we were in the ship, and I was with my daughter, and I was talking, and I remember watching that episode when it came out, and it was episode 3, and I was like, dang, my accent's really good. And I was like, finally, 3rd episode.
Yeah.
So yeah, accents are always tough. I feel like for Brits, the American accent is kind of easy, unless they want us to do like a Boston accent or a Southern accent, which we could probably do the Southern accent more than the Boston accent. But doing accents and training is definitely something you want to do, even if you're an American, because it gives you time to work overseas and working on other projects. So I'm always working on my accent.
Yeah. So it took a lot out of you, huh, this project.
Yeah.
Okay. So is there like a project, I know this one, but that has been very challenging in any different form for you?
I would say there was a project that I was working on that got halted by the pandemic, but we're trying to bring it back. And I guess this character, I don't want to give too much away, because if it does get picked up, it's going to be so good. But yeah, it was like that character where you're like, she's the bad guy, but she's also good. So it's like balancing that kind of character is always so challenging, because like if you're a bad guy, you just play bad. If you're a good guy, you just play good. But it's like having a character that's like, oh, she's technically a villain, but oh, like look at how like nice she is, and like the purpose of her villainy is like the reason why she's like that. So I guess that's always like a challenge and stuff, to just try and like balance it. But I'm definitely looking for a role where I am, but my new role is kind of like that as well. So
that's
like
awesome. Yeah, is there a genre that you want to venture into, or maybe like a person that you really want to work with?
Oh, a genre. So I write as well. I'm always writing. So I had a short film that showed in Cannes last year.
Congratulations.
And so thank you. Now I'm working on a feature film. It's actually a horror. So I've always wanted to make a horror. I feel like they'd be really funny to make, but like scary to watch.
Scary to watch.
So the film that I have coming out is like sci-fi. So this is like the first time I'm working in that sci-fi alien space. So that's pretty cool. Yeah, I mean, I'm open to all genres. Probably not Western, but if an opportunity came, I would check the character out. I wouldn't like turn it down. I'm open to anything.
Is there a reason you don't want to ride a horse or something? Or, like, is it that?
Literally, I'm scared.
Oh, really?
I'm like scared. I was just like, to get me on a horse, it would probably take like all of the crew. Like, and then for me to sit down, although I do have to say, in slave market, so I'm terrified of animals. If they don't speak the same, if I can't communicate, I'm like, I'm scared because I don't know what you're thinking. So on the set of Slave Market, there was animals everywhere. There was a scene where my daughter was holding a monkey. And I was like, and they were like, you have to sit next to her while she's playing with this monkey. And I was like, oh my God. And all I could think of is like, what if this monkey just goes crazy and like stuff? Because you know, you watch those like documentaries and like the animal just flips out because he's like on camera and he doesn't want to be there. He's like tired. So I was kind of like panicking, but I did actually calm myself down, because like as soon as they like said action, I just pretended that the monkey wasn't there. But as soon as they were like cut, I was like, oh my God, get this monkey away.
Your character has a lot to go through, but you're just like the dealing with the monkey.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh my goodness. But you know, maybe. Okay. So another question for actors is everyone has to, take care of themselves, and sort of, there's days that you're not working at all, and there's days that you're working really long hours. How do you take care of yourself as an actor?
Oh my goodness, keep yourself busy. I'm so lucky because I do music as well. So like, and I also write. So I'm always like, if I'm not working, which can be a lot as an actor, I like to create projects. So like I said, I write music and scripts. So I will dedicate my time. Like I will say, listen, today I'm going out, I'm going to a cafe, and I'm going to write 10 pages towards this feature film that I want to get made. Keep yourself busy like that, because when you're not able to act, make sure you're staying creative, because when you're not being creative, it is really, really draining, because sometimes you can wake up and be like, oh my God, I haven't filmed, I haven't acted, I haven't done anything. And then you just feel like, ugh, like, is this even happening? So I'm like, always keep yourself creative, plan stuff, get shoots done. Like if you have like photographer friends or videographer friends, create something, keep yourself busy, create a short, like have some fun, just stay in that creative space. I also like to find other stuff to do, whether that's like modeling or like voiceovers. I just recently started doing voiceovers. I think they're so fun. And then with the British accent, it was like kind of easy to get in. Everyone's looking for like a British voice to say something. So that was also fun, because it's like, even if I'm not filming or making a song, I'm in the studio like recording some voices for somebody else's project. And network, always go to a networking event, always connect with people, because you don't know what people are doing. They might need you for something, which will take your mind off not working.
Awesome. Okay, I do want to touch upon that you are also like in music. You have a single out, right?
Yes, I do.
Can you talk to us about your music career a little bit?
Yes. So my music career it's so funny, because I always dreamed of being just a musician. Music was like my first love, and then acting kind of just took over and became more passion. I had more passion for it than I did music. But music is always something I've had passion for, like writing music, recording music. I just love every process about music. I love being in the studio, working with producers, creating sounds and stuff. So I used to work with this rapper, my friend Rasul, and I kind of started off in LA. And he was a rapper, so I would sing on the chorus of, I think I sang on like 4 or 5 of his songs. So anytime he had performances, I would sing, and that was kind of like my in for music. And then when the pandemic happened, there was a lot of downtime, especially for creatives. Like you couldn't do anything, like no one was working. So I was like, oh my God, I used to have this songbook, and it was so sad because I lost it, and it had like, I don't even know, like 15 songs that I wrote on there. Whoever finds this book, enjoy. But I will see you if you no, I'm just kidding.
Yeah. You'll know.
Yeah, so I was like, it's the pandemic, let me go in. I lost my music book, but that doesn't mean I should stop. So I just started again. I started writing songs, and then I wrote this single called Raw, and I really liked it. It was like an introduction into the music world. So I kind of just hit up a producer in London and was like, oh, I have a song. And he was like, come down to the studio. And it was the most crazy experience. In 8 hours, we got the song produced, recorded, mixed and mastered. And I thought it was like really good. So I was just like, oh, I'm going to like release this. And every time I play it to someone, they like really love it. And I've gotten to perform it everywhere. I performed it at the Cannes Film Festival. I performed it in Zurich. I performed it like 3 times in LA. So it's making its rounds, and I'm currently working on my EP. So planning on dropping another single at the end of this month.
Yeah, you're busy, huh?
Yeah.
Would you like to sing something for us?
Yeah, I don't mind.
Yeah, can you sing us a little teaser of it?
Yeah, so this is my song Raw. I love the beginning because it's like an introduction. So here goes. Let me introduce you to myself. I'm Justina and I'm here to help. I'ma run things and I'm gonna show how to play the game you wanna know. If you think I'm not gonna do it right, step up to me, I'll put up a fight. It's the ding dong who's at the door. When I'm finished, you gon' ask for more. Let me give you that tap tap or the pat pat. If you with it, come and get it, I will clap back. It's the rap pack. Come and chat, chat. If you want to hear some noise, I will do that. Let me hear you roar.
Yay, that was amazing.
Thank you.
Yeah, you got a great voice.
Oh, thank you so much.
Yeah, the musical theater training is also in there too, right?
Yeah.
Okay, lastly, can you look at the cameras, let us know what you have going on and where we can find you on socials?
Yes. So at the moment, I am dropping my next single at the end of the month. It's called Here We Go. And in October, I have an exciting sci-fi movie coming out. It's called Tribe. And my character Haywood is definitely someone to check out. And you can find me on Instagram at official Justina and on my website, officialjustina.com.
Yeah, thank you so much for being
Thank
here.
you.
And thank you to everyone for watching my TV. Bye.